If you're needing gift ideas for someone in your life who likes Dungeons and Dragons, we've got you covered. Whether it's a coworker, creepy uncle, friend, partner, or even your dungeon master. Wait, no, not like that. There, that's better. We're sure you'll find something here that will make them say,
Oh boy, would you look at that? Would you look at that?
To give this video some kind of organization, we've divided it up by price point. We've got options at 5 different price tiers. Under $10, under $30, under $50, under $100, and finally, for those big spenders out there, over $100. With all that out of the way, let's jump right into it.
Actually, past us, we've got a couple disclaimers first. First off, the prices here are subject to change. We compiled this list the week before Black Friday, so your mileage may vary.
Second, the Amazon links in the description are affiliate links, so we will earn a small percentage of any of those sales that happen. Now we can jump into it.
Whether you're looking for stocking stuffers, on a tight budget, or feel obligated to get a gift for someone you don't care about, these gifts under $10 will get the job done. To kick things off, we've got the Mystery Loot Halfling dice from Foam Brain Games. $5 gets you a full set of miniature dice and the excitement of not knowing what color they'll be.
If you're looking to spend a little bit more, Foam Brain Games also has a set of glow-in-the-dark dice for $10.
Next up are the wax dice melts from Tabletop Candle Company. They have dice-shaped wax melts inspired by each D&D class for just $10. They also have full-on candles, but those cost a little bit more.
Keeping with the class theme, we've got enamel pins and patches from Paulus Pixels for $7 to $10. Every class is represented, even the Artificer and the Blood Hunter from Critical Role.
And class folios from Ultra Pro for $10. These work as a folder to keep track of all your character sheets and accessories, and a holder for spell, ability, and magic item cards.
Now, we have the first of many things from Wizkids, the Plush Mimic keychain for just $9.99. At the same price point, they also have a beholder, an owlbear, and several colors of dragon. Next up are the stickers, washi tape, and other various accessories from Cantrips Media, which will make your D&D notebook look as majestic as possible.
These are probably the least exciting options, but you never notice how few pencils you have in your house as an adult until you have a group of people over, and everyone needs one. So we're throwing in our favorite pencils and erasers. The classic black Ticonderogas, the mechanical zebras, and the Statler erasers. We're starting the under $30 tier off strong with D&D inspired teas and coffees. Found Familiar offers a variety of coffee blends including seasonal varieties. D&T offers several D&D and fantasy inspired teas, and Many Worlds Tavern has a selection of both while also offering smaller sampler packs. All of these are around the $20 mark. And speaking of drinks, we're all tired of our friends leaving drink rings on our wooden gaming tables. So why not get them a set of D&D coasters? While there are many available, our favorites were the 4-piece monster coaster set featuring a dragon, beholder, mind flayer, and gelatinous cube.
If you might need something to munch on during game nights, or just want to bring a little D&D flair to your dining experience, you can check out the line of D&D cookbooks. There's the official Heroes Feast cookbook, its sequel, The Flavors of the Multiverse, and the Critical Role specific Exquisite Exandria cookbook.
Also from Critical Role is Munchkin, Critical Role card game. A great tabletop game to play when you want the flavor and atmosphere of a D&D campaign, but your DM can't make it or really just needs a break.
If someone in your life likes Funko Pops, you might want to check out this 3-pack from GameStop, featuring a Mind Flayer, Demogorgon, and Vecna. It can't just be a coincidence that it's all the villains from Stranger Things, right?
Coincidence? I think not!
Also from GameStop is this LED dice tower based on the cover of the original Player's Handbook featuring Moloch. Speaking of dice, we do have 2 dice options in this tier as well. There's the metal spinner dice, which comes in a variety of colors. They work as a D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, D20, and percentile dice all in one.
And there are D20 dice potion bottles. These swirly potions work like magic 8 balls, but instead of deciding your actions, they determine their consequences.
Now, we've all seen the cringy D&D shirts going around. In fact, looking at those might be the reason you've given up and come to this video for ideas. So of course we had to include one of the best D&D shirt collections we found. They go from size small to 4XL tall. I will say though, as a fat man, make sure you only buy people clothes if you're 100% sure on their size.
If you know someone who wants to get into miniature painting, we can't recommend the paint night kits from Wizkids enough. They include a mini, all the paints and paintbrushes needed to paint it, and a video tutorial.
I'm going to specifically recommend the Dire Troll because the tutorial was super easy to follow along with when I painted mine, but others also exist.
These last 3 suggestions in the under $30 tier are mostly for dungeon masters. First up is the Creature Case. This case works as a great cheaper alternative to miniatures. It's chock full of reusable stickers featuring monsters from all over the D&D multiverse and plastic discs to put them on.
Next up is the return of the Lazy Dungeon Master from Sly Flourish. Speaking from experience, this book cut my D&D prep time in half. I use it to prep every session that we stream on Twitch. Making a whole world can be daunting, and this book helps you focus on the most important aspects of adventure prep.
Finally, is So You Want to Be a Game Master by Justin Alexander. Whereas Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master helps streamline game prep, this book helps you master it. It takes you from DMing 101 all the way to writing a gaming thesis. If you remember Cantrips media from our under $10 tier, they're showing up again in the under $50 tier too with their D&D Players Notebooks. These 128-page notebooks are perfect for keeping all your character and story notes organized. And they also have add-ons that allow you to customize them even further.
Starting around $17 and going up to $40 are all the D&D plushies on Wizkids. They have mimics, gelatinous cubes, Thimberchod, the Fat Dragon, and even Critical Role characters.
Also around $40 are the D&D inspired button-up shirts from Paulus Pixels. They go from extra small to 5XL, and they have both unisex and women's cuts. Again though, make sure you know someone's size before buying them clothes.
Now we all know that every D&D player is a dice goblin. It's just a universal law. And if you want to get them the gift that keeps on giving, you can get them a dice subscription. For $30 every 3 months, you can have a new set of resin dice shipped to them every single month from Libris Arcana.
And with all those dice, they're going to need somewhere to store them, so might we recommend a custom Hex Chest dice box from Elderwood Academy.
Or a mimic dice chest.
Or a dice scroll that also doubles as a map of the Sword Coast. These next two are great games to play with your group when D&D just isn't going to happen. First up, we've got the new game, Modern Problems Require Fantasy Solutions. This Cards Against Humanity-like game has you solving problems like social anxiety with magical spells and accusing people of witchcraft.
And next up we have Dungeons & Dragons Monopoly, for if you really hate your friends.
Hey!
What?
People actually like Monopoly.
Are you sure?
Yes?
Well then, D&D Monopoly exists for those people, I guess.
If the Dire Troll paint kit looked cool to you, but you wish there was more, there's the Reaper Learn to Paint kit. This kit is made for absolute beginners who want to get into the hobby of painting minis. It comes with several paints, brushes, 3 minis, and a step-by-step walkthrough that teaches you all of the techniques you need to learn to paint minis.
Speaking of minis, sometimes you just want to give someone a bucket load of tiny statues, and for that I recommend Epic Encounters from Steamforged Games. Each one includes a whole host of miniatures or a big boss monster, and an encounter built around using them. In our opinion, the Tower of the Lich Empress and the Arena of the Undead Horde bundle is the best bang for your buck, but they have quite a few options.
Finally, as well as the other tiers, we're ending this one with a Dungeon Master specific suggestion. The Campaign Case is a great companion to the Creature Case from the under $30 tier, and offers a carrying case full of interlocking tiles and reusable terrain stickers.
We're going to start off this tier with something I personally have a lot of experience with. Baldur's Gate 3. If you know a D&D player and they have a console or PC that can run BG3 and they haven't played it yet, you should fix that. Aside from using D&D's rules and setting, it's one of the best video games to ever exist. We're linking to the Steam page, but it's also available for PS5 and Xbox Series X and S.
Speaking of video games, they can be a great source of inspiration for Dungeons & Dragons, so why not gift someone an art book from their favorite video game franchise? We're going to personally recommend the art book for Elden Ring, because it's full of inspiring creatures, characters, and locations that are sure to get the creative juices flowing.
Fun segue! A new edition of D&D came out this year. Kind of. It's complicated. But with the new edition comes new core rulebooks, and those would be an amazing gift for someone you are 100% sure does not already own them. You can find alternative covers of the Player's Handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide at your local game store for around $50 to $60. Or you could gift them a digital version of the Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and a pre-order of the Monster Manual for just under $90 over on D&D Beyond.
If you liked the idea of the dice subscription from before, but wanted something a little more, Dungeon Crate has you covered. For around $90, you can give someone 3 months of D&D themed mystery boxes that contain pins, dice, miniatures, terrain, encounters, and so much more.
Speaking of something that's a little bit more, if you've seen the other dice on this list and thought they just weren't special enough, might we suggest Gemstone Dice? This first set is from Elderwood Academy, and they have several types of gemstone dice ranging from $80 to $100. The second set is from Foam Brain Games, and they start at $95 and also have a variety of stones and engravings.
The rest of this tier is from Wizkids, because they're probably the most prolific seller of D&D merchandise, especially at the higher end of the price spectrum, like this life-size pseudo-dragon. If you want something that's about the same size and has about the same function as a cat but want it to be magical, this is for you.
If you saw the Steamforged games and counter boxes from before and wanted them to be more bougie, Wizkids has you covered there too with their Adventure in a Box. It comes with several pre-painted miniatures, terrain features, and map tiles. Our personal recommendation is the Red Dragon's Lair, but there are a few other options as well. While researching for this video, we realized just how much of a dearth there is of good D&D figures. There's just not much out there that's readily available. Luckily, in a game that uses minis, some of those minis are pretty biggy. Like this Orcus, Demon Prince of Undeath mini, or Polychronos, the World Eater, or any of these other dragon minis. And they won't just look good on a shelf, as they can actually be used in-game too.
Okay, so this last tier is going to be the most expensive, but we're going to keep all the suggestions under $500. Let's kick it off with a Dungeon Master jacket from Black Milk. Featuring art from the alternate cover of the Dungeon Master's Guide, this jacket comes in sizes extra small to extra large, and honestly, looks really cool as far as D&D clothing goes. They also have matching pants for $80, but most of those sizes are already sold out.
Next up is the Messenger Bag of Holding from Rollacrit. Reminiscent of the Bag of Holding from D&D, this canvas bag has 21 pockets, fits most laptops, and, what I love the most, is that the inner lining is all D20s.
If you like the idea of new rulebooks from the last tier, but want the gift to be more physical, D&D Beyond also offers a physical and digital bundle for around $180. This includes the digital version that they can always have access to on D&D Beyond, as well as the physical books that they can actually hold in their hands. But again, be sure they don't already own these books.
Wizkids didn't just stop with the life-size pseudo-dragon. They've actually made foam figures of several other classic D&D monsters, like the baby owlbear or the mimic. These figures are all hand-painted, and every time I see one in the local game store I feel so envious that not only do they own these, but they were probably a tax write-off.
If you know someone who's into Critical Role, or just really enjoyed The Legend of Vox Machina on Amazon Prime, the only D&D figures we were able to find were the Critical Role ones from Sideshow. These statues start around $130 and go up to $250, but the quality really makes them worth the price.
And finally, our last and most expensive item is from Wizkids. This miniature of the evil dragon goddess Tiamat is over 14 inches tall and 28 inches long, and will run you right at $400. It is sure to delight anyone who receives it, and terrify any gaming table they happen to use it at. Okay, so we lied. There is actually a secret final tier with a mysterious unknown value, and that's because it's gift cards.
Hero Forge is a custom miniature maker and offers gift cards between $25 and $300. $25 is enough for one custom miniature, $50 is good for 2 unpainted or 1 full color, and $100 could get someone a mini made out of bronze.
Peku are some of the best map makers in the business, and they offer gift cards starting at $10. If you know a dungeon master who runs games digitally or likes to project maps onto their table, they could not ask for better maps than what Peku has to offer. Each one is around $5, and they often come with multiple variations.
And finally, we have to mention Wizkids. A good 20% of the items on this list are from their store, so you probably couldn't go wrong with a gift card from this incredible shop. We promise we're not sponsored. We've just been longtime fans of Wizkids and the products that they offer.
Anyway, we hope we helped you find some gift ideas for D&D fans in your life, or maybe even yourself. If so, we'd appreciate it if you left a like on the video and maybe checked out some of the other content we have here on this channel. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!